there, welcome back to Beauty Bee and welcome to my first update for my 30 by 30 project pan. I have 23 months left on this project pan to hit my goal on 30 different products this month, and I think for at least the next several updates, I'm only going to update on the products that I've actually made progress on. Feels pretty silly to bring out a jar of moisturizer and say, yep, I still haven't touched this for 3 updates in a row. So I actually do have quite a few products that I've made some degree of progress on. So let's start with my body, hair, and nails category. The first thing in there is my dpHue dry texture spray. I have used that, but it's a dry shampoo. It's not like I can really see progress. The first product that I actually have used and made some progress on is from Sundays. This is a navy nail polish. This is their shade number 35. They don't have names for their polishes, just numbers. And I'm actually down to here. I'm not going to be marking the products in this project because the reason I chose a lot of these products is because I think they're some of the more luxe items in my collection. I really like the packaging. I like the way they look. So marking them up is kind of ruining them in that sense. And with these every 2-month updates, at least for the first year, I think I should hopefully be able to see some degree of progress in a lot of these products without directly marking them. Once I've roughed them up over this first year, maybe in year 2 we can start adding some Sharpie marks. Next we have my Tokyo Milk Light. This is the Heart and Soul hand cream. This is a big hand cream. This is a 2-ounce size, I think. Maybe it's a 2. No, it's 2.7 ounces, although that's in grams. So I actually don't know how big this is as far as volume goes, but it is a chunkster. It is a big hand cream. And I have not made great progress on this in the last 2 months. I have used it maybe a handful of times, but this has been sitting in my guest bathroom, and I think I just need to move it probably to my kitchen. For some reason, that's where I tend to apply hand cream. So yeah, I'll put it there, and hopefully I will make some good progress in the next month. Because right now I'm sitting basically right at the word Tokyo Milk. It would be nice to be at least a little bit lower than that. And then the last product in this category that I've actually made progress on is again from Tokyo Milk. This is from their Neptune and the Mermaid line, and it's the 20,000 Flowers Under the Sea perfume. Now I was pretty close to the very top of this bottle at the beginning of the project. I had used it maybe a dozen times. Now I am down to this second gold line. I really like this scent. And I mean, I liked it at the beginning, but I found a way to wear this that I really, really enjoy. This by itself is like my really unhelpful scent descriptions. This is a series on my channel. But what I think of when I smell this is like looking over a little adorable little pond, and there's a bunch of lily pads. It's very serene. It's pretty humid, wet scent with a little bit of a botanic edge to it. But the way that I've been really, really enjoying this is layering it with a little bit of Skylar Coco Colada, which is basically like a pineapple scent in my eyes. And this little splash of brightness with that pineapple scent, it's like the joy that you would have if when you were looking across this serene, placid little lake and you see the cutest little frog that you have ever seen hopping across the lily pads. That's what these together are like, and I love it. I think it is a gorgeous, gorgeous scent combo. I wear it a lot. I just finished a full-size perfume in another project, and that was what I'd really been focusing on over the last 2 months. So it's surprising to me that I've made that much progress on this perfume, but then I think about how much I like that combo, and it's maybe not all that surprising. Let's shift gears ever so slightly and talk about skincare. A little mini guy that I have in this project is from 111 Skin. This is the Nocturnal Eclipse Recovery Cream, and this is just a ½ ounce size. I got this through Ipsy, and I have been using this the last 2 weeks or so, about every other night, and I think I've used up about a third of it. I'm not super impressed with this. I have no idea why anyone is paying I think this is like $120 cream for the full size. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. Don't buy it. This is like weirdly thick, and it's not thick in that really luxurious way. It's just kind of thick in like a way where it's a little bit harder to work into the skin, and I feel it on my skin even after it's supposedly sunk in. It's not bad. It's not awful. I'm going to finish it, and I will be fine finishing it, but it's not something I would even purchase at a $20 price point, much less $100. Maybe that's just a matter of me not having quite dry enough skin for it, or maybe it's just a really overpriced product. I'm not really sure, but I don't like it. Next product I don't actually have to show you because it's sitting in my shower right now, and I just don't want to deal with the mess of taking something out of my shower. I don't need little wet spots on my carpet. This is the Tula The Cult Clarifying Cleanser. I have used about a quarter of it, I would say. I put it in my shower, I think, within a couple of days of the intro video, and I've been using it about every other day since. I've also had a couple of mini gel cleansers that I've been trying to work through. I feel very luxe every time I use it. I am not usually someone to buy a $30 face cleanser to, rub on my face for 20 seconds and then go down the drain. And finally, for skincare products that I've actually made progress on, we have the Pure Lease Pumpkin and Ginger Detoxifying Charcoal Mask. I only used this once in the past 2 months, and it was this morning because I realized I had not used it at all in the past 2 months. But I just used this right around my nose and my chin. I find that those are the areas on my face that tend to get the most clogged, and I just don't feel any great desire to put something that is a little bit drying up on my forehead or back here where I do tend to actually get a little bit dry. I liked it. It was a nice experience. I think that is probably how I will use it in the future as well. I also like that with that I didn't have to put my hair back because I wasn't putting it anywhere where my hair could get into. And I think that's part of what stops me from using masks sometimes. I know that's silly. I know it's really silly, but even small barriers to entry will stop me in my tracks when it comes to masking. So I think I will continue to use it that way in the future, and I don't know, maybe I will see some amazing effects from it. So far, it's just been, an enjoyable experience, not something that I see a huge change in my skin from, but that could always change. And now we get into makeup. I have, I think, 5 lip products in this project. No, I have 6 lip products in this project, and I only have one of them to show you today. I didn't really have measurable progress in any of them. I mean, I think I did use all of the lip products, but I used a lot of them like once, and on a full-size lipstick, one use isn't going to look any different. But this Fenty Cream Gloss Bomb, or Gloss Bomb Cream in Fenty Glow, I don't think I'd used this more than maybe once, and maybe not at all, prior to putting it into this project. I've used this 5 or 6 times now, and I'm really impressed with it. It is relatively full color for a gloss, but not overwhelmingly so, not to the point where it feels messy or weird. I mean, there is the color, the texture on this is nicely moisturizing. This is just a pretty product, and it's so enjoyable to use. I'm really glad that I pulled this into this project, and I suspect that I will start seeing some progress in this product, if not by well, I was about to say not by next month's update, but I'm not planning on updating next month. So I think in the next update, I will likely have some progress to show on this. I am working on all 3 of these little Visear palettes in this project. It's going to bother me that I put them all up that way. Okay, now they're all going the same way. I'm working on these 3 Visear palettes. I have the Petite Pro 1, 2, and 3. My goal on all 3 of these palettes is to get up to 100 uses, and I suspect that these 2 I will get to 100 uses within the first year of the project, and then we can revise some goals. This brown one I think will take a little bit longer. I got this one later, and I just haven't been super into it for some reason. The quality's fine and everything, I just haven't used it very much. So I think these are all mixed up. Yeah, we're not going to show the individual colors because it won't be helpful. I love the way that I've been tracking these is considering the palette that the shade I used originally came from rather than the one it is currently housed in. Okay, that was probably more explanation than was necessary. My Petite Pro 1 I have only used 3 times. My Petite Pro 2 is the one that I've had for the longest, and it is also the one that I've used the most. I'm sitting at 45 uses on this palette. And my Petite Pro 3, I'm very close on. I have 42 uses on this one. So I've definitely, gotten some good use on 2 and 3 in the time that I've owned them, which has been a little bit less than a year for 2 and maybe 7 or 8 months for 3. I'm really happy with them. I use them a lot. The quality is good and consistent throughout these 3 palettes. I don't foresee it being a problem to get to 100 uses on any of them, as long as I don't just bring in a bunch of stuff that distracts me from those palettes. I only have one other eyeshadow that's not currently sitting in my magnetic palette, and this is from Armani. This is, I don't remember what this is called. This is their liquid eyeshadow in the shade, I think it's Golden Ashes. It is a champagne shade. It's actually what I'm wearing today as my brow bone highlight and then as my inner corner highlight. I'm really happy with the shade. It's very pretty. My goal is to finish this, and I can actually start to see a little bit of texture on the sides of the product, and I don't know if that is foreshadowing some windowing to come or if that's just a weird mark where the applicator happens to hit as I'm taking it out. But either way, I've definitely been using it. I'm at, I think, like 12 uses on this product since I've owned it, which was like 2 weeks before this project started. And I'm happy with it. I'm really glad to be seeing some progress, but it'll be kind of a sad day when this goes and leaves my collection. It's really, really pretty. Actually, let me show you, because it is stunning. Look at that. Hypnotizing myself in the viewfinder with the pretty eyeshadow. I should really wrap up the eyeshadow section. I have just one more to talk about, and it is a single shadow. This is from Natasha Denona. This is the Camel shade from the Camel palette. I don't know if this is a full size or not. I suspect that this is the size that comes in the mini palettes from Natasha Denona, but I really don't know. I got this as a point perk or something from Sephora. Tiny little dip going on in here. It's the kind of dip that I have no idea how I could successfully show it on camera, but it's there. I can see it in real life. And my goal on that shade is just to hit pan. I think that will be quite the goal. There is not a big dip considering how many times I've used this. I think I've used this like 30 times-ish. And if I'm not missing anything, I think that means that we are ready to move on to face products. 4 of my face products are sitting in the same little magnetic palette as that Natasha Denona Camel shade. This first one is from MAC. This is a deluxe sample of their Studio Fix Pressed Powder Foundation, I believe. This one's in the shade NC20. It is a little bit deep for me, but I can make it work. And I have gotten rid of the embossing that was originally on the powder. There was sort of a little waffle design all over it. That is gone, but there really isn't much of a dip in the product yet. So I've used it, but not enough to make a huge impact. I'm also working on NARS Laguna and NARS Orgasm with the intent of finishing them. I have a dip, but like a broad, gentle, small dip going on in Laguna. It seems like a product that I'm wearing away very evenly. I don't expect to see pan for a really long time, but I am using it and I am seeing some progress. I think you can kind of see it on the side too, that there's a little bit of a bow in that ridge. And then Orgasm, again, this also came with sort of a line print on the pan, and that is mostly gone. You can still see a little bit of it on some of the edges, and it's starting to look just kind of gross. I mean, this sort of looks like it's been sitting out as a tester in Sephora for a few weeks, and I'm kind of happy to see that. I'm happy to see that I am making progress on this guy. Is it enough to finish a blush in 2 years? Maybe. We'll see. And then the last product in this little palette is from Luxie, and this is their highlighter in the shade White Noise. I have used this a few times over the past 2 months. I need to take off the hard pan in this shadow, or this highlight. There's definitely some. I think you can see a big chunk of it right there. This hard pans so easily, and I do like to use my fingers with pretty much any product I would use on my eyes, and I do like to use this on my eyes, so I find that really disappointing. I wish that it didn't hard pan so badly. But I am making progress in it. And really, it's not the kind of progress I want to be making, but taking off... There is a bird fight going on up there. It's not the progress that I want to be making, but taking off the hard pan will also be progress. And the last product that I have to show you all today is from the Balm. This is a trio, the Girls Getaway trio for the face, and my goal with this, or at least my first goal, is just to get this product to 100 uses. Right now I'm sitting at 49, I believe, and part of my progress over the past couple months has been due to the fact that this deepest shade, Balm Desert, has been in my Drop 10 by Summer project pan. My goal with that project, I believe, is to use this 20 times, and I think I've used it like 12 maybe, working towards that goal. So that's, you know, gotten me to have this palette out. I found that because I have this palette out to use Balm Desert, that I'm often also pulling in Balm Beach or Balm Springs along with it, just because it's there, it's easy, it's convenient, and I think that I will get to 100 relatively quickly. I mean, if I'm sitting at 50 right now, let's say I use this like 3-ish times a week through the summer. There's 13 weeks in summer. That would get me to like almost 90 uses. So once I get to 100 uses, which will hopefully be by the end of 2022, then we can figure out what a new revised goal should potentially be. We have my first update to my 30 by 30 project pan. Check back in about 2 months, so sometime in July. It's wild to think that it's already May of 2022. Not the point of this video, but check back in July sometime for my next update. I'm really hoping that I will have this gone, and I think there's a good chance I will also have my Tula cleanser gone. Would be really nice to start seeing some empties in this project. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did, and I hope that I will see you all in the next one. Bye!